Hello, I'm back again to talk about one another book. I could not post anything in past few months because of my travel and work, and I read few book though, but I could not make any video. Now I have all the time, and I just finished one more book in last few days, and I thought to talk about it. It's just the timing, but it's again on Vincent van Gogh. This book is written by Martin Bailey. The title is Van Gogh's Final, Aware and the Artist Rise to Fame. So this book is very very important and very very informative. It talks about Van Gogh's final 70 days when he moved out of asylum. He first went to Paris to meet his brother. He met Theo's wife there, Joe, and his 4 month old son, Vincent William. So after a couple of days, Van Gogh moved to this village called Auvers near Paris, and he stayed till his final death, final time. And this period, this 70 days, becomes very very important for Van Gogh, for his artistic life, because he produced around 70 paintings on those 70 days, which is very short period of time to produce such a big amount of work, for any artist. So that's why this period becomes very important in Van Gogh's artistic life. This book has a very um, um, detailed illustrated work of his final days. A lot of different paintings that I was not aware of, because all the books that I've read, that because Van Gogh has a lot to give as artist to the world. We can't we There is always a new painting that we come across, and there are so many of new paintings that I got to know through this book. This book also gives a very very detailed description of few very important people of his life who became very um, uh, important after his death, because they had personal um, a personal experience of meeting Van Gogh on those days. um, and all of them had few of his work which Van Gogh himself gave it to them when he was alive. So all those information are also discussed thoroughly in this book. um, this this book also has all the photographs of those people, mainly Theo, his son Joe, all the people that you know um, uh, uh, not only people, but the photographs of all the places that he stayed and visited. There are postcards of those times, and there are also very very detailed chapter of um, one particular chapter which is very important of circumstances of Van Gogh's death. So the uh, non-fact and non-reason of his death is suicide, but this book also discuss the alternative reason or alternative theory of his death circumstances, which is maybe accident or maybe a deliberate shooting. So Martin, the author, also discussed the circumstances of his death in a very detailed um, chapter, though he himself believed that he shot himself, he died by suicide. um, there were few things that was bothering Van Gogh in those time, which mainly was his brother's health, because now his brother had a responsibility of child, and his brother was also thinking of leaving his job. So all those thoughts were very overwhelming for Van Gogh, and his own personal mental health was also not that good. All those things is there, but the main part is that Van Gogh worked every day on those days, no matter what circumstances, no matter what thought, what thing that he was going through, he worked every single day. And those paintings were, now very famous paintings that he produced on those days with this mental space. So all those things are also thoroughly discussed in this book. um, and this book doesn't stop at 1819, which is, his death year, but it also goes further. It goes further to discuss the rise and fame of Van Gogh's life. The most important person became to kind of, take the work ahead is Theo's wife Jo, because Theo died in few months after Van Gogh's death. But Joe Joe was left with all his work, uh, because Van Gogh, whatever painting he was producing, he was giving it to his brother. It was kind of a deal between them, that because his brother was taking care of Van Gogh financially, Van Gogh had thought that this my work, any work that I do, it belonged to his brother. So that's why all most of his paintings were with Theo, and after Theo's death, it was with Joe. And Joe took that upon herself after, she came to know about the beautiful relation that was shared between two brothers through their letters that she found. And she, after eventually exhibited his work, also it helped her financially, after selling, to selling few works and exhibiting few works. And Van Gogh also started becoming famous after few months of his death. And that's why, it was kind of helpful for Joe to survive. And she also, after like few years, she also published this book, which is Letters of Van Gogh, personal letters of Van Gogh to his brother and sister. She also, published those early version of that books. So this book also discuss the detailed version, um, detailed journey of Van Gogh's rise to fame. And it has a very, very, beautiful final chapters where they talk about how Vincent painting started to sell, and what those early prices were, and how, it started uh, getting more, like, if it was it was if it was sold a few months ago, it became way more pricey after few months. So this book also discussed all those early prices and how and what it is now. It also discussed all the museums that got established after his death. So it's kind of a bridge between his final 70 days and uh, his fame now. So this book also, kind of bridge between these two thing of Van Gogh's life. I love this book. Obviously, I am reading Van Gogh a lot, and I'm happy that there are, now this detailed books of few years of his lifetime. Um, and if you are interested in, obviously, Van Gogh, you should read this. And it's a very inspiring. It's very sad of his death, but it's also very inspiring, um, towards his approach to his art and work. So please read this book if you are interested in Van Gogh's final year. Thank you.